Thank you all so much for tuning in to Painted Convos, Episode 5, Living Beyond Our Means. We'll dive headfirst into what it really means to live outside of our means, the difference between a liability and an asset, as well as what are we really spending our money on and what is triggering our buying habits. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Painted Convos. Painted Blaq, a being of motivation. To do more, to be more, and to have higher expectations. A new standard of us. True representation that we can trust. Standing against discrimination of all. Black, white, foreigners, gay, fat, small, insecure, or just lost. Painted Convos is an outlet for voices that aren't out yet. I want to give people a new aspect. I want to create a platform for those who deserve it, but that's not hot yet. Where every perspective is needed for every topic. And although conversations get heated, no one gets mistreated because this is an unjudgmental territory and there's nothing but respect for everyone's story. Thanks for tuning in to Painted Convos presented by Painted Blaq. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Painted Convos Episode 5, where we'll be talking about living beyond our means. We'll go ahead and jump right into the question. What is the true meaning of living beyond our means? Does anybody want to chime in? Or would you like to elaborate?
Spending money before we got it.
Spending money before we got it. Okay? I would say a lot of times we kind of feel like just because we actually have it, that we can buy it. Just because you have it in your possession or you have the money, that you can buy it. Or just because you're still able to afford your rent or whatever else, that extra something, I think that it could be going towards something else. So I feel like living beyond our means can also tie into just because you're not struggling to buy what you're trying to purchase, it still could be something that might not be a need as much as some of the other things and priorities in your life at the time, right?
Yes, sir.
I agree. Okay. Anyone else want to chime in?
Well, I believe that, for every living situation, there is a certain amount of money that you have to have. That just basically will cover any kind of emergencies that happen pertaining to that living situation. So if you are spending too much to the point where you don't have that amount of money at least, then I feel like that's when you're living beyond your means.
So what are you guys' opinion on that? Because I feel like some people will have different meanings. Like some people will not drive a really, really nice car or will spend more on a car than another person. Like, what would be your justification for that? I mean, I know some of you guys are fly, and I have nice this, that, and the other. But so, do you feel like you're somewhat living beyond your means? Does anybody feel like they're just good?
I feel like it's only living beyond your means if you can't afford it.
But what's the definition of not being able to afford it?
Subjective.
That's
That's
subjective.
but don't have it to spend.
Right.
Well, most Americans are living beyond their means off the back. I'm just going to lay that right out. Statistics shows that in most of the blue collar states, that all, not even just Black America, but all America is living out, because with the inflation going up and minimum wage not going up, the devastation of middle class, there's no middle class. Either you got it or you ain't got it, and the people who got it ain't spending. So that leave one class left, and that's us. And we already starting out in the rearage. Because if you averaging 20, I'm gonna say 2,000 a month, and your bills is 3,000, but we still all got the fresh J's on. We already 1,000 in the hole already. We got the J's on. We got the rims on our whip. Still 1,000 in the hole. So you gotta look at that. So we automatically out the gate are coming out working in a rearage. So the first thing you gotta do is sit down and just figure out which gonna be your plan of action. Like last week episode, we gotta start trying to build some extra income, because we already coming out not making enough in the normal household. Not your Rosses, not your P. Diddy's. The average American is struggling. I don't care if you got to be an airplane pilot to be living life. You know what I'm saying? But if you ringing something up or you bartending, unless you an entertainer, a sports person, like an airplane pilot, people like that who make six figures. But everybody else is living beyond their means off the muscle, not even blowing no money.
A lot of times you gotta think too. A lot of people don't understand the difference between like you said, an asset and a liability. So most of the things that we purchase, not just as black people, as people in general, are really liabilities. 90% of that is liability. So if you got a house full of liabilities and not a savings account, I don't care how much you make, because you ain't doing nothing but spending it.
Yeah.
So you can make $1 million a month, but if you're spending 800,000 of it, that 200,000 not gonna afford your lifestyle.
Right.
Absolutely.
People think $1 million record deal is gonna make a win, but they don't. $1 million that gets spent like that.
Spending 40 in taxes off the muscle. You got the million, you ain't got number 60 to work with.
You gotta be realistic also when it comes to living beyond your means. And a lot of times that we look at people on TV and we see how they live, and you want to do that, but the difference is they're not even really living like that.
Right. I think a lot of it is like just a smoke murals. A lot of times it always looks good on the other side. The grass is always greener on the other side, right? But a lot of times, you got people that actually really do have it. So say for instance, if they're not $1,000 in the hole, and they actually making how much they supposed to make for their rent, and then their bills, and their bills are covered, but then they got a little something extra. It's what you decide to put your money into after that, because that's what differentiates the middle class to the upper class. How you make your money work for you, not how you work for your money. And so that's kind of
self-discipline. You have to be able
and
to self-discipline yourself to know when and how to prioritize everything. So
and you gotta just make sure you're not on a wave. A lot of times we get on a wave where it's like, okay, I did not know everybody loved Hennessy so much. Now I have Hennessy on my set, but I didn't know people loved Hennessy so much. It became like a lifestyle brand almost. It became really popping, like really popular. And I think it's an acquired taste, if you ask me. But it's Hennessy, and it's something that everybody is just drinking on now. And I don't know everybody don't like Hennessy.
Yep.
Because afterwards, but what I'm saying is, a lot of times we tend to follow the wave and the trend of things, and what triggers that. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next question. See what we got going on. What's the difference between a liability and an asset, and why is it so important not to confuse the two? Let's go to the next slide. So, as Dre was already saying, the difference between a liability. Can you read the definition for me?
The state of being responsible for something, especially by law. A person or thing whose presence or behavior is likely to be, it's likely to embarrass or put one to
a disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
So like somebody that you like, whether it be a person, a car, it could be anything. A lot of times we think, hey, I got this nice car. This is mine. This is my baby. Like I take it home every night. When I look outside the window, it's mine. But if you're still paying on that car, that's a liability. It's not an asset. If somebody was to steal it, if you were to have an accident, you would some way be coming out of pocket, and it would affect you in a negative way.
It devalues as soon as you pull up the car.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to think about that when you're thinking about a liability. So let's just elaborate a little bit on liabilities that we sometimes really didn't even know was a liability. It can be a person in your life.
Yeah.
That's a liability, clearly. You got somebody around you that's not feeding you that good energy, or when you take them out, you're like, Lord, please don't let this girl embarrass me, or you got somebody you're in a relationship with, and they're just like really weighing you down.
It could be a house, a business.
It could be a business. It could be like, oh, I started doing this, and now I can't keep up with my business, or I'm not giving good customer service. Let me stop.
I think a liability can really be defined when you start appreciating your time. A lot of people take time for granted, and a lot of people think I'm short. I take my time serious. And when I'm dealing with somebody, when I hear the, oh man, or this and that, I don't have time. I'm done with the conversation because you're now a liability. What I can be doing with this second I'm listening to you can probably make me some money. And also you got to think about purchases versus investments. That's a liability.
Yeah.
A purchase, I could purchase a bottle of Hennessy. But if I buy a stock in Hennessy, that's an investment.
Exactly.
So we gotta start
And a lot of these men nowadays working in the nightlife, they should have been invested in somebody's liquor company, because people, y'all, it's ridiculous.
So much.
We spend a lot of money in nightlife. Yeah.
Like Jay said on that song he just did, paying it for $1 million. 2 years later, it's $3 million. 3 years later, it's $8 million. Like, that's an investment. And I may not even understand art, but if you tell me that paint gonna make me $7 million in 3 years, I'd spend my. I'd rather do that
painting
than
is
buy
not a liability. It's
Right,
an
it's
asset.
an asset.
But people who don't have that mindset look at man, he's stupid, man. I would have got me a motorcycle.
Right.
And also,
Say
I
that,
believe a
nigga.
liability goes according to your lifestyle. Because for me, having a good car, it isn't a liability
That's
for
a
me. I
necessity.
gotta, because I drive 40 miles to my dream funding job, and then I travel around the country for what I do.
Absolutely.
So I gotta have a good car that, for some people, if they drove what I drove, it would be a liability. But for me, it's an asset because it gets me where I gotta go. It's a hybrid, so I'm saving on gas.
Yeah.
So it's saving me money. And it's a good car. So it's really according to your lifestyle. For some people, if you buy a camera, for some of them, that's a liability because they ain't finna do nothing with it. It's gonna sit in their closet and they're just gonna sit it there all day.
Exactly.
It's
It's
just like
very
Jazzy
subjective.
Faye.
Very
Jazzy Faye
subjective.
always said before he got millions and millions of dollars, he was faking it. He faked it. Some people gotta fake it until they make it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you gotta spend a little extra money to get that rolly, you know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna open up a door. And that aspect of it does become an asset because it's springboarding you to your next level.
Yeah.
But
Right.
like you said, it's not for everybody because we gotta really, that's for the rarest of person because a lot of people are trying to jump out there too fast. And you gotta have a solid foundation, understanding, distinguishing your assets and your life. Because like you said, some people can't tell the truth. Like I tell people all the time when they buy a house, they think, oh, I got a house, this is an asset. No, it's not, because you got a 72-month loan and you paying $500,000 for a $100,000 house. So that's not an asset. That's a liability.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So you got to have a strong foundation before you start jumping into like what you do. You probably it's mapped out for you. Got a game plan. You know what you're doing, but most people don't have your mindset.
Especially when they make high
'Cause
purchases.
I see people all the time. You go get something and have it for 90 days, and they was like, bruh, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'm like, well, you know, your note 700, your insurance 125, you spending on $200 a month on gas. You know what I'm saying? People don't get a $700 car note just turned to $1,300.
Right. So
Like
smooth.
real quick, and you. So like I said, that lifestyle is for the rare.
We also,
Yeah.
it also
But it
take,
comes-
it also take research though. You gotta think about it.
Absolutely.
A lot of times we see stuff, we see a gold chain, and then we see something similar when we go to the mall. It's only $5,000 in your mind. I'm gonna purchase it, but you don't realize you gotta get insurance on it. You gotta pay when they get dirty to clean it. It ain't gonna be cheap. So we don't think beyond what we see.
Maintenance.
We see everybody get nice cars,
Yeah.
but you don't know what comes with that.
Absolutely.
And in a way, we deprive from society to have that knowledge, but at the same time, it don't deprive us from getting that knowledge.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
up to us to want to do.
They and like they say, if you want to have something from somebody, put it in the
Put it
book,
in the
right?
book.
You know, about that, like I was thinking, if it's easy for you to get it, it might not be that good for you. You know, I went and I was trying to get a business loan for my business, and I got the run around. But I remember when I was buying my car, oh, you're approved for this amount of this. You're approved for this. Sure, like, you know, when I graduated from college, you know how many credit cards I got in the mail? I mean, I was making it rain, but I'm thinking to myself, you know, why are they so willing to help me spend but not help me benefit?
Interest.
But not help me, like, not you know, but we know why.
All
Okay.
liability.
You know, we know why.
Right.
Everything they want to help us invest in is a liability. Anything that could possibly become an asset is harder to get. Okay? So when you work for it and you that's when you know it's an asset. You know, let's go to the next slide. Anybody want to read the definition for asset for me? I got some volunteers. Go ahead.
A useful or valuable thing, person, or quality. A property owned by a person, company, regardless of as having value and available to meet debts, commitments, or legacies.
So this is something that you can literally have. Like, I know it's some people that actually paid their car off, and you might not be able to sell it for the exact value, but if you soup it up or whatever the case may be, and you are, you know, that can somewhat be an asset. It kind of depends on the actual, like, it's very subjective, you know. But for the most part, your business, After a while, that can become an asset for you. Right now, I'm feeding it. It's a beast. But I don't mind doing the footwork for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know eventually what my liability will
It's
become
an
an asset.
investment.
And it's an investment in myself.
Yes, it is.
And I mean, I trust myself not to let myself down more than anybody else.
Right.
Right?
Say that.
So if you can't trust yourself, so don't be afraid to spend money on yourself because you are yourself an asset. Unless you just decide to not get out of the bed. Right?
But not
Say that.
foolishly spend money. See,
Yeah.
here's the craziest thing. Like I noticed, we are fooled.
Yeah.
When we watch these rap videos, we see all this good stuff.
Yes.
We are so fooled. Just like bro talking about the Rolex. People don't know that Lil Boosie gets so much of his jewelry for free just because it's on Lil Boosie. They know we gonna buy it because we so ignorant. We ain't got no knowledge.
That's true.
We just sitting there, we're looking at the surface level of what we see, but we ain't digging into it. We don't have knowledge. That's the problem. That is the biggest reason why a lot of us live beyond our means, because we don't have knowledge. You know what I'm
One
saying?
of the reasons we don't have knowledge is because we don't value our own intellectual property. As a black man in America who survived at my level right now, I had to really grow to appreciate myself a lot of times because we see it so much and it's played down so much. We take it as, oh, he average or he this. But if we think it like that, we raising our kids. They don't have the urge to go out and find out who they really are.
Right.
They like, I'm gonna graduate from college, I'm gonna get a job. You just another asset now to our community because we don't value what your intellectual property is really putting you, to use for. That's one of the reasons I left corporate America. I did 10 years working at a big corporation, and I've been in business for myself for 8 years now. But it took that 10 years to see they really don't value me, and what they paying me as opposed to what they making. I'm really a slave.
Yep.
So when I
that's
really decided to jump off the boat, I was like, I'm about to swim, and I ain't stopping.
And that's what society does. They desensitize you to want to be self-sufficient, to self-loving, to self-everything. That's been a plan for over 1,000 years to desensitize Black America. And the reason why it's like that, because they know once we start building and gelling together, we're gonna
We built this.
We coming back powerful
Right.
again. So they desensitize. They don't want you. They want you to think it's bad to value yourself. Or you just, I get it all the time. You arrogant, or you conceited. No, I just know who I am.
And now
You know what I'm
now
saying?
they don't even need help because we do this to ourselves. You know, we pick on people when they're doing great in school, or they're this, that, and the other, or we kind of downplay them when they doing too much. You doing too much.
Nothing wrong.
Good.
You exactly.
But he ain't really doing as good
Oh
as you say
man,
he's doing.
please, man. You know, and here's like the thing is, instead of us like having any type of source of like encouragement, even if somebody's not doing that good, that kind of makes them, that lifts them up for one, and that kind of holds them to like a standard. So like, because I was seeing my show and I saw like, people come in and people that I don't know are here, it motivates me to keep doing what I'm doing. It makes me feel like if I don't, I want to let people down. And I'm not even thinking about, I'm gonna prove somebody wrong, I ain't stopping. I'm thinking, no, I got people that's really like can take something from what I'm doing, so let's do this. Like, I'm gonna keep doing it, And so that's just what it's about. And I think that because we don't tell each other enough how much they can possibly be an asset, we kind of hinder each other.
Always
We hinder
value
ourselves.
yourself. Always, no matter what
Right.
anybody tell you, you yourself are the asset, regardless what anybody tell you, regardless what these books written by oppressors tell you, regardless. Because everybody in here got that extra oomph on them, but they never project it because they afraid of what somebody
Somebody
may
else
think
gonna
or
say.
think of that. But you got all of us got that something in us that just
To be great.
absolutely. So stop letting the mass media desensitize you, thinking that you got to be humble. You got to be humble, but to a certain extent. You don't let these folks. They just basically just shaking you. So you're not going to be that next great doctor. You're going to be cleaning up the blood in the ER. That's where they want you at.
Right.
You're not going to be that next inventor. They want you to just go ahead and give them the idea so they can get credit for it and keep you around.
Do
That's
all the
how it's been
research.
going for the last few
Basically,
years.
do all the
Also, we
research
have
and
to
let
start
somebody get the
being more
benefits.
of an asset to each other.
Absolutely.
And I mean, as far as supporting each other, like you were saying, BB, it's like I don't when I see especially black people making moves, I want to be an asset too.
Absolutely.
When I called you, I said I'm bringing gifts. Like I want to come help the situation. I don't want to be a liability, the one sitting back hating and frowning in my face and saying you ain't. I want to be the one saying I'm an asset. I'm a part. I don't need credit for it, but I was there. I helped you. I pushed you. And when you start thinking like that, you got to think. They say Jews average, they rotate money average 7 times in one family.
Yep, in the community.
And with our community, family, in our community, we might look at once every 3 or 4 generations.
Yep.
And then when we rotate money, it's always the, hey man, can you look, why not? So why not be an asset?
We talked about that on the last show. 17 days for the Jews in the community. 6 hours for black people. So when we spend money, it's going 6 hours.
Yeah.
I posted something today on Instagram, right? And it's funny while we're on this topic real quick. They said that the reason why all the Oriental people are getting so many businesses and Indian people getting business in there, what they do, they come together as a unit. They make 20 people. They put 10,000 up each. And whoever starting, you need 100,000, we got you. And what they do, they don't hire right people. They put their family on. They save that money, and then when they start profiting, they put it back in. They go down the road. 100 for you, 100 for you, 100 for you, 100 for you, and they get all type of tax breaks on. They're basically pooling their money.
It's because we
don't trust each other.
The craziest thing is we don't trust each other. We don't trust each other to spend with each other. That's the craziest
Let
thing.
me give you a flip side to that, because a lot of times we can be liabilities to ourselves. What I mean by that is I got some people literally in my family that I ain't putting $10,000 in his hand.
Yeah.
And realistically, it's not because I don't trust them, it's because of the pattern I've seen.
Because they showed you who they are.
They showed me who I am, and above and beyond that, you got to keep in mind, we've been deprived.
Right.
And a lot of times, it's that hunger just to get to the next step that I can't trust. Like I can't give you $1,000 knowing you need 500 in your pocket. I can't.
Right. Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, you gonna look out for you first.
But
and it costs me.
I understand that, but we're looking at it one-sided though. What if we look at that person that like they need their $1,000 and you know they on their grind, they on their hustle, like you know they're gonna do right with it. Would you still invest that $1,000 in that young brother?
I got a daughter to feed. No, I got a daughter to feed. Listen to what I'm saying. I don't have time, space, or risk management to invest something taken out of my daughter's mouth. Now, if you prove yourself as whatever your profession is, if it's beneficial, by all means, yeah, let's do business, but let's do business and hold it to a standard. See, all black people have this mindset, we got to reach back to get our people. We can't have that. It's let's come on, catch up to me so we can take this next step.
True. Yeah. What we need to do as a black community is start taking somebody's hand and lifting them up. That's free of charge. White people, everybody's been doing it.
But
it takes money to get somebody to the next level.
Together.
Show them how to do it. Train them how to do it. They've trained our mindsets to be against each other.
Yeah.
So let's train our brothers and sisters on how to be better. It doesn't have to take money.
And I want to chime in on what you said. You gotta understand that we've been oppressed for 1,000 years. So it's going to hard to uplift and break other people than it is some people.
That's not an excuse.
It's not.
It can be done.
But we have PSD right now.
Yeah, it's an ongoing struggle.
It can be done.
Because everybody don't want to be in position. Some people want to be sheep.
You're right.
Some people, I call them sheep. Some people just want to be just like this, no matter if it's in church, being on the job, being as a friend, being as a business partner. Some people are just been broken so bad they're collateral damage. Only thing we can do is try to help them as much as possible.
And that's what I'm saying.
But the people that's in the same pool, you got to gravitate to them. They gravitate anyway.
They will.
Me and him gravitate. You know what I'm saying? We gravitate. We gravitate. All the people that's really trying to get out that barrel, they gravitate. You know what I'm saying? But the people, you can't save everybody. It's gonna be some collateral damage. But once we get on, we're not forgetting the people in the back, because once we get on, we're going to make the changes to make them better. Because they still going to be sheeple, but we're going to make them better sheeple.
Okay. What and who seems to trigger us most when it comes to buying habits?
For men, it's women.
Lust.
Ooh, hold on 1 second. Wait a minute. Did y'all hear that? Okay, wait a minute. So I have behind me, I have Mr. Dave. I want you to go ahead and elaborate. He said women. I like that.
It's lust. It's all lust.
Yeah, for
You
men,
did. Give him a second, guy, because he hasn't
for
spoken.
men,
So let's
for men
listen.
is for men is women, man. Because honestly, there's two types of dudes. Either you buying sex or you attracting sex. Like sex is buying you, basically. And to be completely honest with you, 90% of guys are the ones who are buying sex. Maybe you're not handing a person money for no sex, but what you are doing is not leaning on yourself, but investing in things that will attract women. You're paying for women to have sex with you, or you're paying for a date so that she can hang out with you, give you the time of day so you can have sex with her, etc. You know what I'm saying? That's our biggest problem when it comes to money. You know what I mean?
That's real. I still agree with you. Yeah, because you know what? It's not even like some people like, yeah, you know, I go to a club and I buy a bottle, I buy a section just because, you know, I want to drink or this, that, and the other. But we all know what that does attract. You know what I'm saying? Or when you do buy that nice car, right? Get your black China and get robbed, huh? But you do know what you have going on, and you know, like when I say the only thing I would say bias about is fashion, and I know men will disagree with this, but as a woman, when we do wear certain things, not too seductive, like not the obvious, but a lot of times they say, oh, well, we're dressing like this for men. So could that be? Yeah, it's really for us, you know.
Really for me.
Exactly.
I think what triggers
So
all
buying-
buying habits is lust. You can lust for whatever you want. It's lust. Some people lust for power. Some people lust for comfort. I'm not gonna lie. Women, it's not me. I understand. I'm a straight man, my woman right there, but I'm gonna tell you, I like comfort. I like just, if I come somewhere, I want to sit here and relax. I don't want, if I'm gonna pay, I want what I want,
Right.
when I want it. But if you come, women, it could be a million women. If I'm not comfortable, I don't like it. Me personally. So I think it's just
I like
lust.
that.
Lust,
Lust, because you can lust for whatever. Go ahead, love.
I think one of the triggers for women is other women, because at the end of the day, these men don't care if we got eyelashes on or not. You know what I mean? They care about if we're real and if we're honest.
That's
And
true.
we walk into the club and we see somebody with Louboutins or Rolex, and we feel like we got to keep up with it, which goes back to, I think, us as a culture, we try to keep up with the Joneses, and we are the Smiths, and we just, you know,
The Smiths.
we are behind.
I think it's the media. I think it's the media, because the media is always
They
programmed.
convey. I mean, we
That's
don't
why
have
they
kings and
call
queens to look up
TV
to. We looking at our celebrities.
What do they
But
call
we are
TV?
Kings and queens.
Programs.
But we
What-
also have to become.
Program.
We need to become strong enough to let that go. Like, because the funny thing, my mama programmed me a long time ago. I don't buy nothing full price, cuz I don't buy nothing.
You was not
I don't
by
care
yourself.
nothing about no Louis Vuitton. I don't care about none of
I
that.
said
'Cause
it last episode.
the funny thing
you
is,
did.
to me, I feel like if you buy things that are out of your range,
Exactly.
and you ain't really got the money, and you could just buy a lesser of, you just ain't got no swagger to me, home.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true, but you
Or you just can't dress like
that's
that. If you
true,
got a
but
name
you
brand,
still
name
missing the
brand,
point.
The
That
person-
is constantly working on the consciousness level.
Get it out, baby.
it out.
Get it out.
That
Say
you
that
program,
again.
man.
You might need to re-say that.
It's in your DNA to do that shit. They've been doing it for 400 years, man, to break you. So you just not. Everybody's not gonna be on your level, bro. I'm telling you, people you gotta work yourself out, generation after generation. That's why this generation now is more wiser, but they keep them high.
I don't think
They
they
keep
all
them
think
geeked
they're
up.
What you gotta say,
I
love?
don't think they're wise.
Hold on, one
But they
second.
keep y'all geeked up because y'all can't. Y'all wiser, but y'all stay on the Percocet. Y'all stay on the lean.
Oh, no, that's not.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
That's
Like,
not-
Y'all must have
not
watched
right.
TV. That new generation.
That's Jay.
programming they program.
That's the point I'm getting. That's the
Into
point
thinking
I'm
this
across. That's the point I'm trying to put across to you, because we so dumbed down.
Who ain't on
that-
Percocet?
Not us.
Nobody. I don't
Not
know.
us. I mean, because we're not the youngest, but they're so dumbed down that they can't break that mold. When them J's come out, they
That's how
gotta
Wait,
go
that-
get them.
It's
Dre,
funny, like,
Dre,
alright,
hold
so
on.
Migos
Someone-
has, Migos has the album, it's called Culture, whatever. And it's like, I think that certain parts of how they're trying to explain our culture is ways that we have, ways that were messed up. Like, my son, he's 1 year old. I'm not buying him no Jordans. I'm not gonna pay $70 for a 1-year-old to walk on the Jordans. Like, they're gonna do that.
White people hold each other to too high of a standard.
We
You know what
hold
I'm
each
saying?
other to too high of a standard.
We hate each other so much that the other person has to do so much to be accepted by us versus anybody else. White people, they don't hold themselves to be like, oh, you gotta have this watch on and oh this and that to mess with me, because I got plenty of friends, man, going to a PWI. I got plenty of friends who are either black guys dating white women or black women dating white men. And what I notice in both scenarios is that the white man doesn't look anything like the black man who she does accept his attention from. You get what I'm saying? And the white woman might not be looking as good as he expects the black woman to look.
My dude.
We do that, and that makes us spend more money, I feel like.
Go ahead.
People, I'm a server at a restaurant. People who really have money, they don't have to even dress and do all of that to say I have money. This dude looked so bummy and left me like $60 and his check was about $25. And he had a black card, and I'm like, oh, this dude got money. You would have never known. He was the nicest dude. He was a white dude, but I mean, you would have never known.
Let me ask you, how many people with Gucci on would they lead to?
$2.
$2. I done had girls when I tell you that they have on red bottoms, they got on a Chanel bag.
And you're not paying for the actual merchandise, you're paying for the brand of the name.
Yeah.
Is what people don't understand. I have things in my store that's for them to, to get it made, it's probably $2, $3, $5, and we in the store selling it for $50, $40.
Yeah.
So you're not paying for what the merchandise is, you're paying for the name of the merchandise.
And a lot of this stuff you can go home and make yourself. If you handy with some scissors, you can make all of this stuff that costs thousands of dollars yourself.
I know. But you know what though? I think that what we like became like accustomed to, of course, it's the name we all have. Whether, like I say, I've said it before, I don't own a red bottom. I don't have a Chanel bag. I've had times where I've had a nice amount of cash on me though. Please believe me. but I spent it on I spent it on something else, and I didn't regret it. That's my biggest fear. It's just that regret of just not having something or being on the side of the road and being like, God, I wish I had that fast cash.
Take these shoes back.
Right,
that goes back to liability and assets.
Don't worry about it.
So next question. It's not really a question. It's more like a little saying. I just want to know what you guys think about this. I heard this from an actual book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I absolutely love this book. If you have not read it, it is the best book ever in life. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, okay? Fourth question. Lower class spends money. Middle class saves money. And upper class multiplies money. Now, I'm just going to elaborate really quick because I want to know what you guys think about that. The fact that, it's just kind of like, just very like, black and white, like this is what happens, and a lot of times people get confused with the middle class. A lot of people, I don't see it, people saying, yo, I'm lower class in this thing, but I hear a lot of people saying, I come from a nice middle class or whatever, or at this point I'm middle class myself, because you can be doing well with what you got going on, your bills is nice, you living nice, and you look nice. But a lot of times when we think about middle class, and we think about them as they save money. So the middle class is the people that are investing in houses and they buy houses or whatnot, and I would say they're buying their house, their home. Okay, they're buying, or they have their car that they're, as a liability. They might give their car to their child when they graduate from high school or whatnot. But that's that class, and that class is the class that saves money. So I had a working class. I grew up in a working class household. So my father, he retired. But he was, and is nice now. He lives, and nicely. He's able to get his 401k and this, that, and the other. But he will still be classified as middle class. And I'm thinking, my daddy got it. I want to be like my dad, But he's still classified as a middle class because what he did was save his money. He worked 38 years for AT&T. Saved his money. After he retired, he moved and lived in, where he wanted to stay in a resort area in Tampa. And that's just been his life. Now, he's still getting a residual income because that's how he decided to break his 401k up, but he's not doing anything to make more money. Nothing's multiplying for him. He was into, investing or whatnot, but that's not something that he's doing right now. And that differentiated him. As happy as I can see him can be, and as how content he is, because he's worked and he's done his thing, and he's like, but I know that he can be upper class if he was to ... And I just wanted to differentiate that, and I don't mean to tell y'all my family story, but I just wanted to let you guys know, like, you know, it is a difference. A lot of times, just because we are living well and we're able to afford those things, we can still be classified as middle class.
Yeah.
Upper class is literally sleep and making money. That's what upper class is doing.
You can
So what do
change-
you guys have to say about
You can change that because you gotta always look at that too. Like my grandfather, rest of his soul, he worked for years and he didn't even get to middle class if you ask me. But the reality is the resources, the mind state, the abilities that they had in those times coming up, we have better now.
Yeah.
So you can't, I'm gonna say you can't. For what he, at his level of knowledge, that's his satisfaction.
Yeah, but
That's
that was, and he's content with that, and he's happy.
And he
So
should
there's nothing
be.
wrong with middle class, because
And
they
he
live.
should be because
They
I worked
living.
for AT&T. I didn't do 38 years because I recognized that whip when it came
Yeah,
on me.
yeah.
And I said, okay, I'll go ahead and start my own plantation and y'all can work for me.
Yeah, so he
Everything
did.
y'all
He-
gave
he
me
went through a
intellectual
lot,
property,
yeah.
I do that now. So I'm learning to become upper class mentally. My best investment is my woman.
You better
Because
say
at the
that.
end of the day, that's not gonna leave me. My child ain't gonna leave me. That stuff is in me. You understand what I'm saying? But a lot of us don't value our women. Start there. And a lot of women don't value men. So it goes both ways.
I
It
really,
goes both ways.
I really don't think it's 3 classes. I think it's just 2 classes.
Yeah.
What classes
Right now.
would you
Upper
classify?
and
I
lower.
think it's the half
I
and
believe.
half. It's the
Half
half
and
and
half.
half. There's no middle class. Let me tell you
Real
why.
tough.
Let me tell you why. And I don't hate to do this. I'm gonna do this in strength of what he said. It goes back to our grandfathers and the people before that. Versus the halves, they always had them positioned with something.
Yeah.
They always had, when they didn't struggle to go to college, none of that. It was paid for. Versus us, we got to figure out how we want to pay for college. Okay, they're left with businesses and trust fund. With us, it was nothing left there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta disagree with you, Dre.
No, let me
because
tell you.
let me tell you something.
We talk
There's
about-
people that's lower class that didn't have the cookie cut out for them.
Absolutely.
But you have those that rise above the rest.
You just said what I just
So,
said.
but so they're the middle class. Because they're making
They're
it,
not
they're able
middle
to
class.
afford the home. They're not
can't
going.
afford
They're
it.
not going to upper class. They're not sleeping and you're not
They're
going from the
maintaining-
hood.
But they
So
not
you
saving
sleeping
either, though.
and
But they not saving either
It's
though.
great.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Let me clear it up. Let me clear it up, Dreyfus. What it is, it's people that work at McDonald's that's maintaining.
Yeah, they say.
Yes.
It's
Well,
people
I'm
that
not
make
talking
$20,000 a year,
I'm not talking about that.
and I deal with finance.
Maybe I
every
should have
day.
said a number when I said that.
I deal with finance.
Talking about a certain amount a year.
Baby, I deal with finances every day. I have seen somebody making $80,000 a year, living the same way somebody making $17,000 a year.
Because that's living beyond their means.
No.
It's the knowledge.
What
You
I'm telling
crazy?
you-
If I'm making 80,000 a year,
You gotta look at that
Big.
bill.
Like
You gotta look at that
Honda
bill.
But-
you pick your bills, but you pick your bills.
You do.
You pick your bills. So you're not gonna tell me that you gonna go somewhere and be like, oh, how much is the rent? Well, I do make that much. I can afford
You're
it.
missing the
No.
point. I'm saying there is no middle class because middle class is only, your definition of middle class is maintaining and not doing nothing. I'm telling you, it's people in lower class that's doing the same thing. So it's only haves and have not, because if you just ain't got it, you ain't got it.
What he saying, based on that definition you just
Yeah.
read,
There is
a
no
lower class spends money. So
Yeah.
you can be an $80,000 lower class person is what
Yeah.
you're saying. The middle
It's
class saves
subjective.
money. So if you make
It's really
17,000, but
Because
you
if you're
saving
able to
8,
save money for your
you gonna
child,
look better
if
than
you're able to
somebody.
save money for your child to go to college, I feel
Right.
like you're middle class. To
Yeah.
me, if you're able to save money for your child, I feel like you're middle class. That's an
You can pay all
investment.
your bills.
You paid all your bills and you're
Save
able to save
money.
up for your child. That's what I classify as a middle class.
Yeah.
Those parents that's able to have a household, live, live in a nice area, like a little suburban area, not something fancy, not a mini mansion, but let's be real. It's some parents that can make sure that their kids are dressed nice, they go to school.
Yeah.
They're not working at a fast food restaurant. They probably working at a government job
see-
or something like that.
But see,
And
that's
You know
backwards
what the
though.
upper
But I
because-
get what she's saying though, because she's saying the people who really has money, they doing this. My child
it's what
graduate
you
from
choose
school,
to do with
I'm
your
waking
money.
up in the
It
morning,
that's
makes
still-
it
I'm paying
differentiates
for
your
it.
class.
But that's
to me.
still backwards.
What
What
you
I'm
choose
talking
to
about.
do with your money, because
Yeah,
even if you
absolutely.
are working at McDonald's and making
So,
$20,000
let me run-
a year,
Let me run a scenario by you.
how much your
Let
bills
me run
are
a scenario
can
by you real quick.
determine how much
and
you
you're gonna
save.
thank me for this. If your parents is
Right.
consistently putting money up just for you to go to college versus them putting money into some money that's gonna make some money so you can pay for college. That's different. So if they only put 50,000 up and that's all they put up versus having that 50,000 turn into 100,000, you're still not on the halves.
So,
That's what the halves do. They take 20,000 and that 20,000, like he said, Jay-Z said, that multiplies. That person in middle class, they not doing that. That's still lower class stuff.
Due to our history, what do you think the deep-rooted issue is with purchasing today? Why must one feel like in order to gain happiness, status, or notoriety, you must look a certain way or must possess a certain material? So throughout this conversation, we've already spoke about what's triggering us to buy these things. But let's take it back into history and think about what really made us feel like having property, because we came here with nothing. What did that do for us, and how did it give us a certain entitlement or a certain power, or made us feel like we were anything better or less than?
Self-esteem. It all comes from self-esteem. If you're not taught or raised that you're worth it, then you're gonna get something that you see everybody else gravitate toward because you want to feel necessary. And a lot of kids nowadays, and speaking from a father now, they don't have a father in the house, unfortunately. Right. Some don't have a mother. So if your parents are not giving you that self-esteem, and you see kids in school who get it because they have this, then you're gonna gravitate to it.
Right, exactly.
And media, of course, media. That's a no-brainer.
I think it has also. You remember when we were little, and your mom was like, "Do not touch that stove, or don't touch that iron," and we just really was just like, "Why can't I do what I want to do?" You know what I mean? And why can't I touch, or why can't I have this thing, or why can't I have this candy? And then when we do, we indulge in it, and we have our consequences. But I think that a lot of it had to do with just taking it all the way back, because we came here with nothing. We didn't know who we were. We spoke a different language. We didn't understand what was going on. And so when these people were coming up with these great ideas, and they were accomplishing these things, they were wearing these nice dresses, or they were in the house, or they were closer to the house. I think all of these things tied into, like, okay, the key is I have to achieve something, or I have to have something in order to be classified or be better or somewhat. And who are you better than? The people that are below you, which is your people. The people that's on the side of you most of the time, which is most of your people. And so I think that's why we call that crabs in a barrel ordeals, because we like, man, they finna make it, I want to make it too. And you no matter how it comes about, whether it be just a misfit friend or just somebody that's just struggling and can't really get it together, we become crabs.
And that's what I meant about earlier, about investing in my people. Sometimes you gotta be careful.
I got that, because it is people that will waste your time.
And they just want to step on you.
But let me ask you this, because some things you said earlier, I just want to ask, like, what would it take for you to invest in somebody?
Effort.
What kind of effort? What do it have to do?
I was just telling somebody about. I know. I own the business and I build home theaters, and there was a guy. It's like 5 companies here that call themselves competition. I don't see them as competition. So when I get business that needs to be referred on this side, I refer business in other states before them. Why? The effort is not there. They don't want to go get the licensing.
Yes.
I don't build home theaters because I got a set of tools. I build it because I have a license in the state of Georgia. I pay my insurance every month. I'm bonded. I got 18 years of service. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So if I put in blood, sweat, and tears, and you just want to sit on your butt, and because you know how to do what I do, or you think you know how to do what I do, I'm not going to invest in you. But if you are an artist, for instance, and you say, I want to make a book, and you got 50 sketches, let me invest in you. I want them. But if you say I drew 2 pictures and everybody in here liked it on Instagram, I don't want to invest in it. Because you drew 2 pictures.
Credibility.
There you go. You know what I'm saying?
Credit is a big deal.
I'm not saying I won't help, but
credit is a big deal.
That's it.
You know, we think about credit, you know, like, oh, I gotta pay off this student loans and secure my credit. But a lot of times you can have credit with the person sitting in front of you or next to you. You never know who's around you. The same thing, like, and that's why we kind of want to make sure that we appear a certain way. We're driving a nice car. We show people that we're well poised and that we can do this, that, and the other, because whether people know us or not, that first impression is the first thing that hits your credit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, think about that. You know, a lot of times we do these things, these extra things that might not, I won't say it's just beyond our means, but we just kind of take risks, and we would manipulate to buy. You know, we all have our nemesis and our things that we just like, you know what, I'll lack somewhere else that I absolutely need it just because I really want to do this thing, and that's just kind of what ties us into just understanding what our issue is and what's triggering us.
And getting back to the question, because I come from a very small town, and the question talks about gaining status and notoriety. I visited home for Mother's Day. My mom was telling me, we have land here, and all my family members stay next door to each other. My aunt right here, grandparents right here, mama right here, other aunt right here. And she was like, I got land over here. If something happened to me, this is your land. You can buy a house, put it right here, rent it out.
Asset.
That's an asset, yeah. So, it all comes from stuff like that, from us investing money instead of putting out money that we don't necessarily won't have a benefit from in the future.
I got a point to make about the question. The question asking about deep-rooted issues, deep-rooted why our purchasing habits are why they are today. We see celebrities and things like that make us want to be like, I want to be on the big screen. I want to do this. I want to do that. So I had a basketball game this past Saturday, and Dwight Howard hit me this morning and told me he wanted a massage. I posted that on Facebook. Everybody a fan of me now. I grew up in the same city with all of y'all. Y'all don't hit my line. Y'all don't come to visit. Y'all say nothing about me. But y'all want a massage now because Dwight Howard want a massage? Massage is not an indulgence. It's not a luxury. It's a maintaining factor that you need in your life. The way you take your vehicle to go get maintenance every 3 months to get an oil change, your body needs that. Not because Dwight Howard wanted it. Not because Lucci wanted one. Not because 2 Chainz rapping about it. Not because Floyd Mayweather getting 4 women massage him at one time. That's not why you should want a massage. But those are the type things that influence our purchasing. Because celebrities are doing it. That's why regular people want it.
Wouldn't that be an investment? Because like you, I just did Young Thugger's TV and stuff.
Okay.
And I posted it, and I got crazy people calling my phone.
Yeah.
They are. So hell, I think it's an investment. Come on.
I'm not saying that you should use it. I'm talking about our purchasing power. All right, guys. Our purchasing power. I think that's where it comes from. Our purchasing power is influenced by we see celebrities doing, not because we really need it.
But I think that, and I agree with you, Roxy, and I think that what we have to realize is true. Yeah, we don't have kings and queens that we look up to and we're like, oh my God, they're so royal, and look at what they're wearing. No, we're looking at celebrities that are actually telling our kids to do ... and kill ... So let's stop talking about what is already done and established. How about we say, okay, how do we change this? Like, how do I say, okay, I got a little boy, and I know he loves this video, I know he loves this rap artist, but instead I'm gonna also let him watch a press conference. I'm gonna say, oh, I want you to look at these suits. These suits are nice. Like, you need to get you a 3-button suit so we can make sure you get something fresh and you know how to tie your tie, and I'll teach you how to do this, that, and the other. And we highlighted something else because at the end of the day, they don't know how to work the television first come, like, be honest. So a lot of times it's kind of what we also put on the throne too, or what we feed our energy in, because when your child is in the car with you and you're listening to that song, they're listening to that song. You might not think that they understand what they're saying, and they might not understand what they're saying. They just repeating the lyrics. But before you know it become habit, and that's what they're repeating, that's what they want to hear, and that's what they're fed. So it's not a judgment.
I think the show is a resolution.
Growing up, we don't know about investment, so how can we know what to invest in? You only learn by doing it so many times. You can't invest in the right thing one time. Going to school makes you you're not an owner, you're a worker. Right. That's just what they teach you to do. So you're not going to know until you get the education in order to know. You can say, I like this person, but unless you really know about investment, you're not going to make the right decisions, even if you like somebody or even if you have something going on, unless you get that education and continually invest in yourself or other people and learn by mistakes like everybody else, other races do. We don't do that. We go to school and they don't teach us financial. We don't know anything about how to spend money, and that's why we spend money on everything else, because we think that's the right thing to do when we get it,
And I'm sorry to say, guys, this is the closing for Painted Convos.
No, it's not.
I know we have so much more to talk about, but I just want to say that I thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you all. Let's hold our drinks up. I feel like somebody at home heard. Hold your hands up. I feel like somebody at home but appreciate this conversation.
My bad, bro. I'm sorry. Tripping on you, girl.
I'm gonna make a quick toast. But I appreciate you guys, and I feel like all of you all's feedback, even my audience, I appreciate you guys just coming and watch. I hope that you take something from this, maybe even if you post it or tell somebody about it. You follow my YouTube channel. It's just all love. As you see, I'm just trying to make sure that our people understand what's going on and we can move up in life as a whole.
Amen.
Okay? My show is to show off my people, and that's all I'm trying to do.
Yes, cheers to
Okay?
me.
All right, so training combos, thank you guys. All right, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have an amazing artist, Lacoso Dope with Frauds.
Made this song for folks that couldn't keep it 100. Yeah. Frauds. No. Go to my tea like a Paul. Whoa. Why they talking at me all wrong? Now they all gone. Oh Lord, what the fuck have you expect me to fuck with you niggas because you are all frauds? No. Go to my tea like I'm Paul. Whoa. Why they talking at me all wrong? Now they all gone. First turn the enemies all Lord. Like what the fuck how you expect me to fuck with you niggas because you were all frauds? Oh Lord, like what the hell y'all nigga all frauds? What the hell y'all nigga act like some bitches? You come around and you might get some stitches. I don't fuck around and I don't fuck with snitches. I'm flipping the work like a fucking magician. Like God, y'all. You got too much stuff coming out of the kitchen, yeah. They the realest now. Too many ain't gonna finish. Got them all in they feelings. How could you say you were real? No, you ain't never in the field. No, you was a damn fraud. Frauds. No. Go to my tea like I'm Paul. Whoa, why they talking at me all wrong? Now they all gone. First turn the enemies all love. Like why the hell y'all nigga act like fuck with you niggas? Because you were all frauds. No. Go to my tea like I'm Paul. Whoa, why they talking at me all wrong? Now they all gone. First turn the enemies all love. Like why the hell y'all nigga act like fuck with you niggas? Because you were all frauds. You nigga all frauds. You niggas thought if you think you winning, I'm pulling your cards. I thought we were dogs. We used to trap out the garage, flipping the rims off of luxury cars. You set me up from the start. How many times did we go hit them licks? Still in candy at the sick though. How many times did you tell me don't trip? Cause you know how this shit go. How many times did I take on the risk? Should've took the gun to your tempo. Yeah, you turned your back and you let me for dead. I should've known that my dog was a bitch. No, go to my tea like a Paul. Whoa, why they talking at me all wrong? First that they all gone. Oh Lord, why the hell y'all nigga act like fuck with you niggas? Because you were all frauds. No, go to my tea like I'm Paul. Whoa, why they talking at me all wrong? Now they all gone. Oh Lord, like why the hell y'all nigga act like fuck with you niggas? Because you were all frauds.
Tell me, where can they find you? Give me some information about yourself.
Instagram @LocoSoDope. Facebook LocoSoDope.
Okay, give them a round of hand. Thank you so much. Okay, so our next artist is Young Mike with Bands on Me.
What's up? Well, by the way, I'm from Baltimore. Baltimore to Atlanta.
Okay, Baltimore.
I got them bands on me. 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 I got them bands all 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 on me. I got them bands. them bands all on me. I got 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 them bands all on me. Can't do no playing tricks. If it's big on me, you gon' eat. If you know it's talking cheap, but if you got money, you talking to me. Tell the street, I'm in. It's convenient, price high, my price cheap. Got a bit fun, all the cheesy, everything you make shit sweet. Poppin' the miles, you got me geek. Oh, tell what you like sweet. Once more week, I gotta go show 1 million. Simply, I'm with my team. I remember I was broke, but I ain't going back. Young nigga, get that paper, gotta chase you a snack. I got them bands on me. I got them bands on me. I got them bands on me. On me. I got them bands 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 on me. Never with the same hole. Change them like I changed clothes. Never took a G clothes. Nigga, I was never full. My business be about the money. That's what I was told. On my road to riches every now and then I'm on the road. Yeah, I had to get it sold. I can cut them pesos, but niggas got them bagels. Shout out to your brain, I just believe in all the Chicago. I was from the show. I had to find out some started selling drugs. Yeah, I think about it, but I don't know. But they love you when you grown, right is right, wrong is wrong. But sometimes right is wrong. I got them bands on me. On me. On me. On me. I got them bands 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 on me. On me. On me. I got them bands on me. I got them bands on me. Yeah. I got them bands on me. I got them bands on me. Yeah. I got them bands on me. I got them bands. Born though.
So where can we find you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Young Mike 410 YUNG.
Okay, that's what's up. Give me a hand, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This is the conclusion of my 5th episode. Come back and see me next time, okay? Follow me on Instagram at painted_BLAQ, as in Blaq. Check out my backdrop if you need to correct the spelling, okay? And I hope to see you all next time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all.